Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a fantastic day and that you are all doing well. To start things off, the Intercontinental Exchange, or ICE, has partnered with major global blockchain firm known as Blockstream to launch its cryptocurrency data feed product. As ICE Data Services tweeted just a couple of days ago, founded in 2000 in the United States, the Intercontinental Exchange is a global company that owns exchanges for financial commodity markets and operates 23 global exchanges, including the New York Stock Exchange. According to the announcement, ICE's new crypto data service enables real-time and historical data for more than 60 cryptocurrencies from major trading markets and exchanges worldwide. Blockstream has introduced the product under the name Crypto Feed V3 on Twitter, claiming that the updated service now includes more than 30 venues across over 400 crypto and fiat trading pairs. The new partnership intends to provide global investors with a comprehensive tool to monitor data for the most actively and widely traded cryptocurrency, the company wrote. The cryptocurrency feed includes a number of crypto market monitoring services such as price discovery, historic data, and full-depth market by price and by venue insight, as well as round-the-clock market overview, including a calculated accumulated volume, the volume of weighted average price, VWAP, and others. In addition, the new service is backed by ICE's Secure Financial Transaction Infrastructure, or the SFTI tool, which claims to eliminate downtime for investors and enable immediate notifications in case of an emergency. It looks like they are getting ready, and I said rather a very good indication of their progress comes down to the fact that they are in the news just about every single day. It's never them, knock on wood, it's never them saying, yeah, we're thinking about delays, or we're thinking about so and so. Every single day, rather, 3 times a week, healthy 3 times a week, they're in the news, the New York Stock Exchange / the ICE, to talk about what they're doing, and the fact that they have partnered with Blockstream to be able to, and this is where I think the most important thing comes down to, that they announced that they're going to have real-time and historical data for more than 60 cryptocurrencies, raises a lot of questions. Exactly which cryptocurrencies? I assume we'll figure this out within the next couple of days, or maybe even weeks. But this makes me very optimistic for what they plan on doing, because they have noted before in the past, for those who were not here or maybe just didn't hear the information, that they see no reason as to why they would not list cryptocurrencies that are deemed securities onto their platform. I believed for a very long time, and I still believe this, they're probably, my opinion, only going to add Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe some of the forks as like the first coins that they actually have on there. But when they have or are integrating some type of a listing data information real-time tool for 60 cryptocurrencies, I don't think they'll be that brave. I think I would be probably far too optimistic and happy on that day if they announced that they were going to be listing 60 cryptocurrencies at the exact same time. I think that would be a bit too much for my brain. But I'm definitely assuming that they're going to at least be launching 2, if not 4, maybe 5 at the very beginning. But this is a very good indication of exactly where they're planning on going, because like I've stated before, I'm always questioning why certain cryptocurrency exchanges only have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 coins on their platform, when other major ones are realizing that these aren't the only coins that are going to exist. Anyway, just thought that was kind of interesting that they openly partnered with Blockstream and that they're going to be providing data for 60 cryptocurrencies on their platform. Interesting times ahead of us. Very, very interesting times. Let's move on. Next up, in a new report released by the Korea Herald, Samsung Pay could eventually integrate cryptocurrencies into Samsung's new Galaxy S10. This is not the first rumor related to Samsung and virtual currencies. Some images leaked show that there might be a cryptocurrency wallet integrated into the device. We saw that a couple of days ago. These reports show that Samsung could be analyzing the possibility of integrating digital assets into its ecosystem. Samsung Pay is the company's digital payment platform. According to MK, Samsung Pay has more than 10 million users in South Korea. Individuals in the country use the app in order to process daily payments. To process these payments and offer such services, the company purchased Loop Pay, allowing Samsung to use the magnetic service transmission, or MST technology. This is similar to NFC that is used by other companies such as Apple with its Apple Pay. An industry official commented in the conversation with the Korea Herald and said, the arrival of the new Samsung phones could start popularization of cryptocurrency wallet system in Korea. Samsung has been interested in using cryptocurrencies. According to a recent report released by Samsung Insights, mobile devices are more secure to store digital currencies due to the fact that they can create a trusted execution environment, or a TEE. For those who may not have been here during the run-up of 2017, we noticed something quite spectacular, and I think that this trend is definitely going to continue. We noticed that South Korea and Japan were actually controlling the entirety of the cryptocurrency market. I mean, they weren't a full 100%, but it got to the point that whenever they had good news, the entirety of the rest of the market around the world would move. And there was something that ended up happening called the, air quotes, kimchi premium that started happening in South Korea, wherein let's say, rounding numbers, let's say we had a Bitcoin on the Western front, Europe and North America, for around $10,000. In South Korea, it would be a $13,000 Bitcoin. They were buying up so much so rapidly that we got into this situation by the end of 2017 where their government leaders, with an S, came forward and said that they were going to ban cryptocurrencies. The hype was too strong. They didn't like where it was going. We all realized that this was shenanigans as time continued to go on, that their leaders were lying, that they legally weren't allowed to even talk about banning cryptocurrencies. And if I'm not mistaken, the South Korean government still has not given any proper clarification as to exactly how cryptocurrencies are going to be treated in their country. And because I think if they had done this, we would have definitely seen movements in the market, because looking around, having not even documentaries, I watch different like news outlets and stuff like that when they, those segments where they have like a 20-minute video and they go to these countries and they talk to people in different environments and stuff like that and ask them how things are moving within that country, how things are so and so with finance. And apparently in South Korea, cryptocurrencies are like the thing. Like everyone's into it. They were asking people, how many people do you estimate are actually into cryptocurrencies within the country? And they were estimating it's between anywhere from 60 to 80%. And they said even older people were thinking about talking about it. They have like this is just what they said. I'm not there. They have like groups of older people who get together and they discuss like retirement options and stuff like that. And they talk about integrating cryptocurrencies into their retirement plans. So this doesn't surprise me as much as maybe other people. If Samsung officially ends up getting 100% into the cryptocurrency game, we've had rumors that someone found like a couple of components and they found a patent that said that a Samsung was trying to integrate crypto into their platform. If they end up doing this and it's remotely successful with this phone, they're going to start rolling this out to every other phone. Imagine a situation where every Samsung phone automatically has a cryptocurrency wallet. And imagine the situation, because in realistic terms, Apple's not doing too well. I think they just posted a 15% less revenue loss than where they thought they were going to be. Imagine if Samsung continues to slowly dominate the market because their phones are more cost effective and they do the exact same thing, where Apple in 5 years announces, hey, we want to get into the exact same thing. This could be incredibly major. We need these rumors to actually be true. However, it said in industry official, one can only assume that it's probably going to happen sometime in the future. I find this very exciting. This is what we need, and I've been waiting for this moment for years, for major players to get into the cryptocurrency game. It's enough when we are in it, but when you have a situation like, I'm going to assume that none of us own Samsung and therefore don't own a platform large enough like this, when you can potentially hit millions, if not the low billions of people around the world with your smartphones that have cryptocurrencies already integrated into them. It was also something that I saw. I'm not sure if it was a comment, if I dreamt it, or where it came from, not even joking. Somewhere it was mentioned that the way that you create, what's it called? How you really get crypto out there is if you create a cryptocurrency phone or some type of thing, and you put like a tiny bit of crypto on it. So like you give people it for free, and this kind of starts the wildfire, and then it kind of goes from there. Anyway, we'll see, I guess, in the next couple of weeks when this actually ends up being released, if it's going to have it, because I have a strange feeling that there are always other companies as well who they figure out what's going on and they try to mimic it to also stay ahead of the game. It could be very, I mean, I already feel like crypto is going to have a very nice future in just 2019 alone, but we'll see. Let's move on. Next up, French cryptocurrency hardware wallet manufacturer known as Ledger has released a dedicated mobile app for some of its products, the company confirmed in a blog post just a few days ago. Dubbed Ledger Live, the app previously available for desktop is now available for Android and iOS mobile devices, the company reported. According to the blog post, the app allows users of the Ledger Nano X wallet to use their wallet without the need for a cable via their mobile device and a Bluetooth connection. The first incarnation of the app primarily services Nano X holders, while those with the older, air quotes, Nano S or Ledger Blue can currently only check balance information in what the blog post refers to as consolation mode. The company promised full functionality will roll out to all users at a later date, but in the case of Nano S, they would have to use an Android phone to communicate with their wallet. I assume once again that this will be rolled out to every single person who's actually out there. Very interesting information. It's nice to hear that, I mean, on all fronts, like I keep saying almost every other day, it's nice to hear that there hasn't been any like detrimental news in the cryptocurrency space. Every single day has been more or less either like really cool, really great, or kind of phenomenal when it comes to the news. So it's nice to hear that these projects are continuing to roll out more support for other people. And yeah, just wanted to brush over that. Let us move on. Here's where the news gets really, really interesting. Next up, the Eurasian Economic Commission, which serves as an executive body of the Eurasian Economic Union, or the EAEU, has prepared a report on cryptocurrencies to promote regulation in the area. Russian news agency TASS reported on Monday. The Commission's Minister for Integration and Macroeconomics, Tatiana Valovaya, said that the EAEU, a political and economic union established by Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan in 2014, aims to create a consolidated financial market by 2025. As the cryptocurrency and blockchain industries are becoming more robust, the EAEU has to study them, she continued. The commission has formed a working group of experts from all of the member countries, TASS reported. Their report focuses on the definition of cryptocurrencies as well as examples of regulation in different countries. According to Valovaya, a legal framework for crypto is absolutely necessary. The minister further admitted that sooner or later, cryptocurrencies might have a great impact on macroeconomic stability. As Cointelegraph previously reported, Russia's Ministry of Finance is considering launching a digital currency backed by the countries in the EAEU by 2020. That is less than a year away, or 2021. However, the project is unlikely to use blockchain, according to Russian officials. It will instead be inspired by the European Currency Unit, the unit of account used by the European community before it was replaced by the euro back in 1999. The point of this is that we have had news almost on an accelerated, I can't remember the word in English, conveyor belt is kind of the only thing that I can think of. The last couple of weeks where we're getting more news specifically about Russia, Venezuela, and Iran about what's actually happening with their cryptocurrency projects. And now we seem to have some type of solid example of what's happening. We have Russia, Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Iran, Venezuela, and a couple of other places I can't think of off the top of my head, who are now talking about either creating their own cryptocurrency or creating something that will be a digital currency backed by the countries amongst them, which means that they'll have some type of a framework for cryptocurrencies between themselves, which also leads me to believe that they're also going to try and create this as well as a payment system between them, because I remember that some of these countries probably have some type of an economic sanction on them. So keep all of that in mind as we go into the next thing, which is also incredibly interesting because they're, once again, like I said, everything is flying back and forth, but not between each other, next to each other. On the same exact discussion, Iran has lifted the ban on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because it takes one other step in the direction of its personal sovereign cryptocurrency amid talks with international nations as potential companions. As we speak, Iran's central financial institution has launched an early draft of its cryptocurrency legal guidelines, lifting the earlier ban on Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, digital tokens, and ICOs. Reviews to Al Jazeera. Nonetheless, the rules will impose restrictions on the usage of digital currencies contained in the nation. Thus, people will be capable of maintaining accepted cryptos, and once again, that word accepted, and use identical. Yeah, so whoever wrote this, I don't think English is their first language, so just bear with me. Use identical for peer-to-peer transactions. Nonetheless, there shall be restrictions on the usage of cryptocurrencies in industrial transactions to protect the real monopoly. The excellent news is that the DOC additionally formally acknowledges cryptocurrency wallets and exchanges in addition to mining to generate cryptocurrencies via computing energy. This happened about 6 months ago where the country said that they would allow mining within their borders. I think there was never a full acknowledgement on cryptocurrency exchanges or wallets. And this is exactly what we were talking about yesterday, right before, because there's some huge economic event that's happening in Iran, if I'm not mistaken. And the rumor was that they were going to lift the ban on Bitcoin, but not other cryptocurrencies. And we still have that word somewhere around here, like accepted cryptos. I don't think that there's a list of them. But, the most important gateway typically for other countries is the Bitcoin word. I'm also surprised at tokens as well, and for ICOs, which is kind of, I can only imagine how they're going to come down hard on those. In line with the Tehran instances, Iran is at present in negotiations, here we go, with 8 international nations as part of its efforts to include cryptocurrency funds into worldwide cost transactions. For those who did not hear that, maybe I stuttered. In line with the Tehran instances, Iran is at present in negotiations with 8 international nations as part of its efforts to include cryptocurrency funds into worldwide cost transactions. This transfer comes because the nation appears to be like for methods. Okay, it's under U.S. financial blockade. Whoever wrote this, you're a legend. Commenting on the plan, Mohammad Reza Moldudi, the appearing head of the nation's commerce promotion group TPO, stated, and I do quote, "Representatives from Switzerland, South Africa, France, England, Russia, Austria, Germany, and Bosnia have visited Iran to carry associated talks concerning the problem." Without reading any further, I'm pretty sure you now understand why I think these are very interesting, that these tie into each other. Something is happening. We may not be a part of it. We may not be in the room for the discussions. If you Google this, I'm not exactly even sure the year anymore. It must have been 2014, 2015, maybe 2016. I can't give you like an exact time frame, somewhere around there. There's a coalition, I kind of want to say, that came together around that time frame where they were pretty much discussing that they were tired of using the American dollar, and they were thinking of using the Chinese currency as the new world-backed reserve currency. I think there was even a new bank that was set up in China around that same exact time. And there was like I remember a thing in the news where the U.S. government kind of came forward and they were like, hey, don't do that. Like very like openly, they were like, we think this is a mistake. Do not do this. There's an active movement, and this isn't a conspiracy. This is not a tinfoil hat type thing. This is actively happening behind the scenes. A lot of countries are very annoyed with the fact that sanctions exist. That can you imagine being the president, the prime minister, or the ruler of a country, and another country 6,000 kilometers away tells you what you can and cannot do with your money? Imagine having a country that you trust, a friendly country, and you have an ambassador fly over there and you say, hey, what's going on? How's everything? Let's have some tea. Can we have our gold back? And they're like, yeah, the U.S. called yesterday and they were like, you can't have it. And they're like, okay, well, that's fine. I'll just, it's fine. I'll just go back home then. I'll just go, almost had a curse. This is actively happening around the world. We have a movement that's happening amongst many other countries where they're trying to, and they're going to move away from the US dollar. I just find it very interesting to see now that after a couple of years, the word cryptocurrency is now entering into these conversations, and they're either talking about creating cryptocurrencies amongst themselves, or they're talking about creating cryptocurrencies that will, or like a cryptocurrency transaction monetary so-and-so system. The way that my views have changed slightly, and this is why I mentioned before, that I am not a Bitcoin extremist, maybe not even a maximalist, but I am a Bitcoin sympathizer because I understand where all of this is going now. I once thought, and I tried to sit down and I did as much research as possible to try and figure out what people were talking about when they were saying that Bitcoin was going to be the only cryptocurrency. I don't believe that Bitcoin will be the only cryptocurrency. I still think we are going to have many other cryptocurrencies that will play a vital role in our world. I don't think it'll be 2000. I think it may be around 50 to 100 that kind of take the world by storm on a lesser or more basis. But what I think we're going to actually end up happening simply because they keep allowing Bitcoin and very few cryptocurrencies, ones that are approved, that we're definitely going to have some type of a situation where world governments are going to have their own interlocked blockchains, where pretty much these countries and these countries alone will be able to see exactly what's happening between them. They'll be able to swap money back and forth. But I think that Bitcoin will also play a role in this as the part of the currency that'll be used in their countries as legal tender, but also the cryptocurrency that will maybe play a role in their money transfer as well. I haven't really pieced the entire puzzle together. I only go off of what I read every single day. And once again, this is the news that we are given. Keep that always in mind. This is the news that governments feel comfortable with us actually knowing. But this is kind of huge that we have information that all of this is actually happening. It appears that many countries, this is now confirmation that many countries are now creating their own cryptocurrencies, but they're going to need some type of an interoperable system where they can all transfer these cryptocurrencies amongst themselves. And this is where the idea comes from, that while you may create your own crypto and they may create their own crypto, unless you can get the framework kind of together to really all manage that together, it's going to collapse under itself, and you're going to have to adopt a larger cryptocurrency that we already have right now. And this is where I get incredibly bullish on Bitcoin and XRP. Don't forget, the people from Ripple have made it their life's goal. They've been to all of these countries. They're typically, when these panel discussions are happening, they're sitting on the stage with these government leaders. Like, if that doesn't ring a bell for you, I'm not exactly sure what does. And this is why I'm very 50% between Bitcoin and XRP, because they seem to be doing all the right things when it comes to this. Anyway, as it stands right now, the ban has been lifted on Bitcoin in Iran. We also have the news floating around here that many other countries are working together to create some type of a integrated blockchain system amongst themselves. I can only assume if these countries are attached to Russia, and the other ones are talking about where is it? Nope, that's not it. There we go. Where's the... Yeah, we go. These countries are amongst that as well with Iran. We also had information before. It was Venezuela, Iran, my gosh, Russia, and one or two other ones. And don't forget also, I know this does sound weird to drop this into a video, but it is happening, so we have to acknowledge it, that North Korea is also having their own like cryptocurrency conferences. Like I said, it's weird, but it's happening. They're definitely getting into cryptocurrencies. We don't know to what extent exactly, but to think that they're not at all and that they're not buying Bitcoin is, once again, extremely foolish to think that these governments aren't actively collecting these cryptocurrencies for themselves. Just at least my humble opinion on the situation. To kind of finish things off, cryptocurrency exchange known as KuCoin recently announced that they will be removing 8 projects from their platform. According to the special treatment rule of KuCoin, the latest phase of observation has ended, following which 8 projects have been disqualified. KuCoin announced on their official website the following projects have been disqualified, and the tokens will be removed from the exchange. They are ArcBlock, SingularityNet, Aaron, Data, IHT Real Estate Protocol, Polymath, Stamp, and Substratum. Interesting to note that these are also some of the coins that people were asking me to talk about. In 2018, they kept on screaming at me that I was doing a disservice to my listeners for not talking about these coins and how these coins were going to revolutionize the world. I repeat once again, only certain cryptocurrencies are going to make it. If you look at certain coins and realize the, their trading volume, and when it's almost non-existent, these are coins that you should probably stay away from. Pay attention to the coins that the world leaders constantly talk about, or that the major stock exchanges around the world have announced that they are going to be listing. These are probably, without a doubt, in my opinion, going to be the coins that are going to be the most used, the most traded, and will probably make you the most money in the future. So reportedly, the coins will be delisted by the 3rd of May, and deposits will be halted yesterday. And the trading pairs will be closed from about 4 days from now. The mentioned 8 projects will be removed and all ranked within the top 400 coins based on market cap. So if you are using Qcoin and you have coins on their platform, it may be a good time for you to take your money off or swap it into another coin. And this is exactly the reason why Binance announced sometime in 2018, they were like, yeah, we're going to halt or slow down exactly how many coins we're listing on our platform, because they were getting so many requests and they were trying to be so nice, because the idea was, Changpeng Cao, he said before that he would love to have all coins on his platform, to have a very robust ecosystem where we have thousands of coins and everyone can have their own coin and what have you and so forth. A lot of these coins are not going to make it, so just make sure to pay attention to where you have your money. To kind of end things, crypto market's not doing too bad. At least we're in the green. I don't have the other, like the 17 other articles in this video where they were talking about that Bitcoin seems to be doing okay. However, they think that we could be headed a lot lower. I'm completely torn. As the more I read and the deeper I go into this conversation, we have a lot of people who think on the dramatic side that Bitcoin is going to fall to 1,200, that Bitcoin will fall to 1,400, that Bitcoin will bottom out at around 2,200. I'm now hearing a lot of whispers about Bitcoin falling to 3,300, and that will be the bottom, as we have been trending along some sort of support line since 2018 that indicates that Bitcoin will not go any lower than that. You have in the middle people talking about that Bitcoin has already bottomed. It's just simply waiting for a catalyst to drag it forward. And then you have on the other side a whole bunch of people talking about that Bitcoin has bottomed and that within the next couple of weeks we're going to have some type of an uptrend. There's a bit more negative, or rather Bitcoin's going to go lower sentiment in the short term. Like we have a lot of talking about by March we're going to have this downtrend continue and then it'll kind of end. Some of them say by summer we will have a bit of a downtrend, and then by Q3 prices will go up. So everyone is kind of in the mindset that at some point in the next couple of weeks things are either going to get very nasty and then go up, or things are going to stay exactly the way they are and then go up. Not holding my breath, at least I try not to. We all want the prices to go up, so I try to not really dig too deep, but sometimes it's kind of interesting to really look into it. I think that is going to do it for this video. Nothing else that I have on the top of my mind at the moment. Let's see where things go. There was also something in this, don't take this to heart. There was another one that said, and I'm testing this for myself. No one else do this. Do your own research. There was another article that I read, and I wanted to kind of see if they're correct. They said by the end of this week, that is by this Friday or Saturday, that Bitcoin's price will drop to 3,200 because lack of support, lack of so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. I want to see if they're correct, just so I can, I don't know, maybe it's just a game that I'm playing with myself. Who knows? I like to see if certain people are correct when they look at the market. Because I'm looking to buy some more coins, and if there's going to be a dip in the market, you obviously want to wait till there's a bit of a dip. Anyway, like I said, it's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantabulous. As always, a very, 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 very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. They are Vlad the Impaler, Gil Boa Snake, Rai, Brady Nields, L. Doug, and Arthur Yaku. Thank you all very much for your generosity. I appreciate it more than you could possibly begin to imagine. And yeah, I'll talk to you all soon. See you.